This is a bit of a riff kind of episode, but today we're going to be talking about Metacritic. What is it? Where did it come from? Where did it go? Where did it come from? Cotton-eyed Joe. It is, if you don't know what Metacritic is, it is a website where you can input your own scores into various about various video games, but it also aggregates various different magazines and web mags. Is that a thing? Web mags? Sure.
Yeah. I'll go with it.
Who also review video games. And one of the cool things that it does is actually takes various different ways of reviewing and scoring games and kind of turns them into a sort of percentage style thing. So,
like a game ranking.
Yeah, like game ranking. And it has an awful lot of influence on the video game industry. Tash, Luke, what are your takes on Metacritic?
Metacritic.
So in the past, we've used Metacritic as initial reviews of scores on demos and things like that. And then we use that to gauge where we need to make improvements. That works really well. The trouble is sometimes it goes off in a tangent too far and you lose the sort of overall direction you were already heading in, or you send it off too soon and the review is judging something that was, everyone knew that particular thing wasn't good enough, but yet now you've got all the eyes of Sauron looking at it. It's going to make it even worse because those things that you should have been spending your time on are overlooked. That's the negative side of things. The positive side of things is the aggregation, the fact it aggregates all that data from all the different angles and gives you a score around it all. The other negative, I know there's two negatives, one positive, is that end users typically don't care much about the Metacritic, and just because you get a high Metacritic score doesn't necessarily mean you're going to do really well, and vice versa. Some games that are acclaimed might have a low Metacritic score.
There are definitely outliers. There's some really good examples of that. I think Portal is one, got an incredibly high Metacritic score, but only sold initially sort of tens of thousands of copies. Obviously, it is now sort of beloved by all. Yeah, exactly. And the reverse is also true. Lots of games that have scored sort of like fairly averagely, but sold incredibly well. However, there are stats to suggest that particularly high scores do have a positive effect on sales. It does need to be 84, 85 plus, and it has to have had it has to have been genuinely a good game and had a good marketing machine behind it. But then that's when it really starts to come together, all those different sort of a confluence of events, if you will.
Yeah.
So the most experience I've had with Metacritic is when I worked in Rebellion, where we kind of gauged where the game sat when they were released. Not gonna lie, past that, I've not really had much engagement with it.
Great take, Tash. Thanks.
Yeah, a lot of companies do put a lot of effort into it, and they do listen to it more, and they focus too much on it sometimes, and you can end up burning time and effort.
You can. I just genuinely don't see why you waste so much energy on it.
It's almost like what they do with politics, isn't it? They do polls, and then before they're about to do something, they do some polls, and they say the polls say this, the polls say that. But yet, if you ask me, probably you guys, have you ever been polled by the government? No. Do you know anyone that's been polled by the government? No.
Only in the.
Not. I'm not talking about bent over by the government. I know that's where you're going, but yeah. So, but and the Metacritic scores are often, I don't know, from a magazine review that you taken for granted, but perhaps the marketing team get on really well with that magazine company, and they've got a really good relationship and stuff. And it's like, oh, hang on, how did that score go so high when it wasn't that great a game and stuff? So there's a lot to it, and the data is not always
Yeah.
I'm
valid.
just trying to think. Isn't there something else that we use? Like, is IGN give you review scoring? Is that not?
IGN would be one of the data sources for the
Yeah.
Metacritic score.
What was the one you said earlier? Game ranking?
Game rankings, another one.
Yeah.
Yeah, Eurogamer and all these.
I don't
Does
know.
Amazon actually have Metacritic built into their point of sale?
Yeah.
Which is interesting, especially as they're a games publisher, which it feels perhaps like a conflict of interest.
They're marking their own homework. Yeah.
Yeah. Or someone is
Pat
marking
on the
their
back.
homework.
Really good work, Luke. Really good work.
Well done,
Good
us.
job.
We're amazing.
You should buy our game that we publish.
Yeah. We think you should buy our game because we think it's great.
Yeah. Is it, the thing that I was thinking about earlier when I was researching this was, is it the antithesis of artistic endeavor? You're trying to, video games are art. I still think that's a topic that's up for debate, but I think that, like, broadly speaking, like, enough video games have been produced that are works of art that you could argue for it. So, I mean, for example, is there an art critic website where you rank different pieces of art? Where
sure there
then
is.
you release a version of your masterpiece early so that everyone can, like, weigh in with their opinion on whether your new painting is genuine, is worthy of, like, public appreciation and sales.
But could that not be said the same for music, books, and every other? Because they do have their own. Like, books will have their
Goodreads.
ratings, yeah.
Mhm.
Goodreads, so everyone will do that. I'm pretty sure music has loads of that sort of stuff.
And there's a bias there. So if there's a review for a game and the majority of it, the like is coming from audio people or audio files, and they say the music's amazing, it's a great game. So hang on, it's the music's great. It's not a great game. So the other thing I think about is if you compare it to film. So like the film 300, right? It's a visual masterpiece. It's amazing. It's beautiful, but it's a shit film. Let's be honest. It's a shit film. It doesn't really do much. It kind of goes on this boring linear path. Doesn't really go anywhere. This is Sparta. Okay, Gerard Butler and his stupid accent. Hey, sorry. But you could look at that and go, "That's a visual masterpiece. It's amazing. It's stunning." But actually, it doesn't. And there's games like that as well. Games that are visually beautiful and, like, really cool. And there's games that are beautiful that are actually really good as well. But there's games that are really ugly that are fantastic.
That's personal preference, right? So, like, there's a game that I've got amazing scores and done really well. It was Journey, if you remember, and it was just like this little game that you play as a little, I don't know, triangular dude.
Yes.
And you collected a whole bunch of scarves. Visually amazing, great graphics. I hated it.
Right.
I don't have that. I have to, like, why am I here? What am I doing? Why am I collecting scarves? What am I jumping around for? Why am I in the snow? What is it made me so
go with the
frustrated.
flow.
No, but that made me really frustrated.
Right, yeah.
So
It's
it's
a
all personal
vibes
preference.
game.
Yeah. It's
I
because
don't
you
do
like Final
vibes.
Fantasy. You're like, I want stats. Give me XP.
No, I just want a story.
Yeah.
But
I'm with you.
I can
Do you
appreciate
like Zelda?
visually. I like some of Zelda's, yeah,
Mm.
but the last one I played properly was probably the Ocarina of Time.
Okay. But that's got a good mix of, like, fantastic gameplay and visuals and audio and all that sort of stuff. It ticks a lot of boxes.
I mean, like, ideally you want to sort of marry, the audio visual aspect of it. But I think I was reading an article, or at least an interview with the guys that did Caves of Cud. And they were, if you've seen that is really old school graphics, like Commodore 64 era, possibly
a lot
even
more like
prior
that
to. But it's the core concept of the game is so interesting and unique that it's what they've done is they've had to, I think this is, and someone kind of pull me up on this if I'm wrong, but they've used relatively sort of basic graphics so that they can make the game as complex and as interesting as they feasibly can.
They don't have to spend so much time on that. Yeah.
I don't think, I mean, it's the kind of game I don't think they could do with with more graphics behind it. It just like it would be very difficult for them to kind of make it more visually pleasing.
Yeah.
But my point remains the same: is that we have this we have this way of worrying about the audience, like the success of it based on the audience reception, based on the critical reception, and it's to the point now where it's even before the game is released, it's a company's fortunes are sort of like hang in the balance. So the most recent example is Crimson Desert. The company that made that, is it Pearl Abyss? Their stock dropped 30% on Pearl Abyss. How do you pronounce it?
It's the emphasis on the ah.
Pearl Abyss.
Okay.
Pearl Abyss.
Pearl Abyss.
Is that
Pearl
that's
Abyss.
the
It's fine either way. It just made me laugh. You
Abyss.
underline the A.
I did hit the A pretty hard.
Abyss.
Abyss.
Pearl Abyss.
No, it wasn't even Abyss. It was Abyss.
Abyss.
Like you're reading how to spell it. How do I say it?
Pearl Abyss.
Yes. Anyway, go on, carry on, Matt.
A score of 78 caused a 29.88% stock drop for Pearl Abyss.
Yes. That's what happened, yeah. That's what happened.
Yes, AI, Matt, welcome to the group chat.
Welcome to the chat, everyone.
I am working on an AI avatar of me to host this.
I think that'd be good. Yeah. We don't answer back so much.
It might say Abyss better.
Every time you say the letter A, can you just underline it a bit more? This.
I'm not taking tips on how to pronounce things from a Scottish person. Thank you.
Oh, wow.
No, that's because my English is better.
Yeah. Touche.
Is it?
Anyway, what was you saying, Matt?
No, no. I am not done with this conversation. When I'm trying to edit this and I'm trying to get the subtitles right, I have to rewrite your entire script.
No, we need this bit.
Anyway,
no more editing. Just let it roll.
So in the months, this is all usable. In the months up to launch, I think that the stock price for Pearl Abyss rose by about 50%, possibly more, on the back of the hype around the game, and then with the Metacritic score of 78 after the embargoes and so on, the stock drop was impressive. Like 30% again, even though the game sold over 2 million copies in less than 24 hours.
Yeah.
It's nuts, isn't it?
Yeah.
Should companies' profits and whatnot solely hang in the balance of pre-assumed assumptions?
But that's business, isn't it? That's the way the stocks and all that sort of stuff works, and people do that deliberately as well. They spread news to make stocks plummet, to buy them.
Yep.
I won't talk about the oil price, but it's just dropped.
Has it? Interesting. We're not that kind of podcast.
No.
Yeah. That's our spin-off podcast.
Yeah. Let's do it. It's After Hours podcast, we call it.
This is After Hours.
It is After Hours.
I was going to say something as well. I was going to say something. Before Pearl Abyss, I had something in my head that I was going to bring up, but it's gone.
Abyss.
It might come back.
Abyss.
Like
Bisto.
Bisto. Bisto. What's the future for Metacritic? Because, like you alluded to this earlier, Luke, that assuming that we were recording that section, that it's a snapshot.
Yes.
So you can put something out early, and if it gets reviewed, if it's open for review on Metacritic, it's a snapshot of that game in time, and it does not reflect changes to that game made over its lifespan. So, the really good example of that is, damn it, what's the one with the planets and the flying and the
PlanetSide?
No, the other one. It was terrible on launch, and they spent years fixing it.
Yeah.
Thingamajig.
I know the one you mean.
Yeah,
That
that
one.
one.
Yeah.
Something
It was
Abyss?
no, not Pearl Abyss. It was an extraction game. It was an
No.
extraction. No?
No Man's
Oh,
No.
Sky?
No Man's Sky. Thank you.
okay. So what's
Yeah.
the extraction game I'm thinking about? Okay, there was an
I
extraction
don't
game
know.
that had a similar problem. They put a demo out too
Escape from
soon.
Tarkov?
It got absolute like a space
Mara-
extraction game.
Marathon.
No, you get to fly spaceships and stuff. It was really cool, but it was so
Ah.
buggy. You could literally fall out the spaceship while you're trying to be flying it.
Okay. Anyway,
That one.
yeah.
Put what's called in the comments, please, all our followers.
Yes. Andrew.
Thanks, chat.
The and the fuck was it? Oh yeah, No Man's Sky. So
Yes.
in theory, the Metacritic score for No Man's Sky is like probably terrible. I've not looked it up because it was just a snapshot of it in that moment, and then cut to sort of like 7 or 8 years later, like everybody loves No Man's Sky. It's a very well regarded game. They had a kind of an amazing redemption arc that very few games genuinely sort of like get. Like Cyberpunk, probably a similar story.
Yep.
But is this really important anymore when we have more and more games coming out that are maybe not ready, that maybe want to be out early? So what is the future for Metacritic? Is it going to become obsolete? Are there going to be better websites that are more adaptive?
This is what I was going to say. So I think what's happening with film, with music, and with gaming is that we've gone from having this sort of route into releasing games and music and film, and now it's done this. I know you can't see my arms, but my arms are really wide. It's basically widened out, spread out so thin that you've got niches. You've got people that are into a very niche type of horror. You've got people that are into a very niche type of rap. You got an audience that are into really old school Commodore 64 remakes on a console that's just like Commodore 64. You've got games that are coming out on handhelds that are just for that handheld device, and there's people that have the old Amigas. Like there's like a new version of the old Amiga there are people producing games on them, like a completely different niche market. They won't give a toss about
the
Metacritic.
Amiga?
Yeah, it might be Amiga, but yeah, I've got friends that are into those sort of retro new machines. They're not the old machines; they're new retro machines, which is amazing. And there's phones that are coming out that are based around sort of retro phones, so that everything's widening is what I'm getting at. And things like Metacritic are very linear. It's like you must follow this linear path to releasing something, same as Spotify, etc. But the music and film and movies and games and all that sort of stuff are going in a way you can't predict, and that's a great thing. So unless they can scrape the entire internet for everything about that product and that thing and make it realistic and not paid for and not manufactured, yada yada, then it's already obsolete. It's obsolete now.
I mean, in that case, is Steam? So have you ever sort of gone onto SteamDB to look at it's basically a database for Steam games.
Yeah,
and that does have the same sort of functionality that you see on the Steam store page. And it shows you what the overall score is, and it shows you what the most recent like number of scores is. And so there's something there as well. Even Steam recognized to a certain extent the fact that scores can change over time. So why is there not already a challenger to Metacritic that is a lot more sort of live almost?
I think you're onto something there with Steam. I think platforms are the way you could judge that. So the Steam as a platform, you see spikes of games that come from nowhere that just go poof, and that everyone's playing that game. There was a fake Pokemon game that came out like 6 months, a year ago that loads of people were playing. It was fun, it was silly and great, but it was like a rip off of Pokemon. Loads of people jumped on that. There was a game where Sea of Thieves spiked at one point as well. And I love that. I love when things just spike and just come from nowhere. And you can use Steam for that sort of stuff. And I think the Google Play market and Apple sort of markets and stuff like that have that same sort of thing. So maybe that's the answer, is aggregating the data from these various platforms and then using that as the overall score. Maybe we can produce a thing that scrapes all that data map.
Just a Grafana dashboard, right?
I mean, yeah.
Right?
Just scrape all that data and present it. It's
Yeah.
fine. We do it.
I'll do it.
Just do it. Do it right now.
All right,
Give
right,
5
cool.
minutes.
Good, go for it.
All right. I'll just hang on.
Dear ChatGPT, can you scrape all the data?
Off the internet. I tried to use Grafana once, and I gave up immediately because I'm just stupid.
No, I think that's good. I think we've covered a broad range, but we welcome questions in the comments, and we can bring it back as a topic.
Comments.
Like, subscribe, comments.
We need to do one of those kind of,
Provocate?
Provocatate.
It's a new
Provocate.
word. I just made it up. Yeah.
Yeah.
Provocatate.
Flaily.
Provocate. Provocate.
I like Provocatato.
It's like comment and in a provocative way.
I thought it was maybe like a sort of sexy Mr. Potato Head.
Provocatate.
No, that
Provocatator.
hello, darling. Provocatator. Maybe that's what this episode's called. There we go. Boom.
That's a different type of potato.
Yes.
A Provocatato.
Provocatato.
Sexy
Put that on a
potatoes.
t-shirt, Matt. Provocatato. In like suspenders.
We do need to do some merch at some point. So maybe why did
Provocate.
Jesus? Yeah.
Provocatato.
Why did Jesus get cancelled? And Provocatato, just a very
same.
What would
potato,
Jesus get cancelled look like? Would it just be Jesus with a giant X over it?
Could be, yeah, I like that.
No,
we
just
keep
Jesus
on
on
a
the
t-shirt.
cross. Jesus on the cross after he's died.
Jesus
With
on
a
the
red
cross,
cross.
but with the red cross through it. Or Jesus on the red.
Yeah, he's done. He's done for.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, we'll figure it out. And I like these ideas, Tash.
Just on a
thanks.
t-shirt.
Yeah.
We're gonna get cancelled if we talk about Jesus too much.
Oh, we will.
Why? Who by?
I don't know.
Right,
Someone.
exactly.
Jesus will
The-
cancel us.
The religions will
He's
come
coming
after
back
us.
apparently. Matt.
He's is he?
Yeah, he's having a rebirth.
It's about time.
It's
been
Easter.
ages.
He's
And
coming
all I
back.
want to go was, it's about damn time. Give me a minute.
In a minute.
In a minute.
Beef.
In teams, can't we all just get along?
Yeah.
Can't we all just
There we
get
go.
along?
Yeah, sure. Why not?
I said that in a meeting once at SCI Games. It went,
Did you?
went down well and it wasn't forgotten.
Can't we
Everyone was
all
arguing, and I was like the assistant producer at the time, and I
Yeah.
spoke up every now and again. I just said, "Can't we all just get along?" And everyone just shut up. And at that point, it became my sort of catchphrase.
I've been working with some guys recently, and they've been on more than one occasion. They've said we need to remember, like, sometimes that we're just making video games.
Yeah,
It's
absolutely.
like,
No one's
it's
gonna
not.
die. We're just
Yeah.
making
Yeah.
games. Yeah. Unless
I
you're
love
I
making
did have
video
that
games that
conversation
train the
recently
army.
with someone.
Go on.
It's like they were talking about all the jobs and they're like, we treat it as if it's life or death,
Wow.
and that the world depends on it, and that it's like, we're just making games. We're not
Yeah.
surgeons. We've lost the fun of making games, which is weird because games are about creating fun.
There's a statement on a t-shirt. Making games fun again.
Make games fun
Making-
again.
No,
Yeah, make games.
making games fun again.
Oh,
Yeah.
making games fun again.
Put that on a red hat.
Like
Yeah.
Jitter was fun. Like making Jitter out of Improbable was fun.
Yeah, I
Mm.
enjoyed it. Probably. I got some good times.
Yeah, it's like it was my
Core
favorite job
memories.
to date.
That was a good job.
Mm.
You never
Oh.
realize at the time when you've got a really good job or you've got a really good experience. It's always after you look back and go, "Shit, that was really good. I really
Yeah.
wish I'd appreciated it."
Oh, I fully appreciated it.
Like me and you, Matt, like staying up all night long. No, hang on, playing games, testing games,
I mean, testing games all night long.
all
Yeah.
night long. That was good fun.
Nah.
And we were listening to Stevie Wonder and Luther Vandross and all that sort of
Yeah.
stuff. Thanks to Alan. Do you remember Alan? Alan was in charge of the music.
I do vaguely remember
Yeah.
Alan, which is
He-
weird for me because I don't remember anything.
he used to play CDs. Do you remember those? He used to play CDs.
Oh.
CDs.
Do you remember cassettes?
Yeah.
I remember
Yeah.
cassettes.
The CDs were special.
Yeah.
CDs were, or was it the little?
Mini discs.
That's
Yeah,
the ones.
mini
Yeah.
discs, yeah.
Many
Not the
discs.
I had a mini
should-
disc player.
They should have stuck about. They were arguably better quality than CDs.
All right.
Yes.
Before we go too far down this fucking
I like this
nostalgia,
rabbit hole. It's good.
I
rabbit
like
hole.
this rabbit hole. Memory lane.
Yeah, I know, but it's just it's just like remembering things. That's
Yeah.
the whole conversation is, do you remember stuff? It's like, yeah.
Wait,
Yeah.
no, hold on.
all
Do
right,
you
we
remember
can talk about,
stuff
do you remember
back?
Well, I
games
mean,
then?
like,
Oh, is that what it is, Matt? You just can't remember much.
I just
you
don't
get
remember
jealous.
anything.
You're like, fuck you guys, I can't remember it.
I can't remember
Fucking-
this.
yeah,
We
I don't
can't do
remember
that.
tapes.
Mini what? Mini Walkmans?
Mini Discman.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't remember anything.
I don't remember anything. My brain's gone. Why has my brain gone numb?
I barely remember this morning. I've got to do another marker now because you guys faffing around.
That was a nostalgia moment.
It's a good job we don't pay per marker. Got to another 50 pence.
No, we don't. You do.
Yes, true.
Yes. Yeah, when do we get our money, by the way, Matt?
Yeah, come on, Matt. When
we
do you get our
invoice
money?
you for this? Where's
Yes.
my money?
You can definitely invoice me.
Okay, sweet.
Yeah.
Cool.
You- oh.
Oh, shit. People are like, mate, don't you remember Green in the pub that day with me and Tash?
Yeah.
You told us how much you were going to pay us.
We wrote it on a coaster.
Yeah.
I don't remember anything.
Develop was so far away.
Yeah.
It was nearly a year ago.
Yeah,
Was it a year ago?
It was
Do
nearly.
you remember Develop last year?
No.
Hey.
Hey, right.
No.
All right, shut up, you two. Hang on.
Me and Tash had a really nice meal. That
Oh
was a
my
great
God.
meal.
We did.
I'm getting nostalgia again. That was a great meal. We just randomly walked into this ridiculously expensive restaurant, Matt. We've both been made redundant. And Tash like, this place looks good.
Okay.
Yeah, it looks good. Then I looked at the menu. I was like, how much for a steak? But Tash was happy, so I was just holding like, just all right. Yeah, it looks fine, Tash. Yeah, it looks good. I'm thinking,
Oh, shut up. You
So-
had your money.
Sometimes
did
you
it.
just
I did
gotta
some money.
go with
Did some
go with the kind of joy of it.
yeah.
Go
I
with
did
the
report-
Tasha
I did
bougie
report back
flow.
to management. I kept that under radar.
All right, will you two shut the fuck up now so I can
Yes.
intro this segment, please?
Are we on shut the fuck up segment?
Yes.
Okay, go. Is this PG, by the way, Matt? What's the certificate on this one?
Have you got?
Are
Have
we
you
getting our
developed
Peggy ratings?
ADHD?
I don't, what do you mean if I developed it? I've always had it, Matt.
Oh, okay, right, fine.
This is a standard operating procedure.
The
Your
local
ADHD may
system
have
is
got
burning out.
worse.
Yeah. It's woken up.
You
I've,
pulled the bear.
Yeah, I've got Lucasade. That's what it is. I'm waking me
Oh,
up.
right.
Other energy drinks are available.
Mhm. Mhm.
This isn't Wayne's World.
This is it's 20. It's 20. It's like it's
Are you
quarter
looking at the
past
time?
8, man.
looking
Yeah,
at
I'm
the
looking
time?
at the quarter past 8. It's like bedtime.
No, it's
basically.
12 minutes past
so
8.
old,
Don't be
Matt.
dramatic.
I'm
It's-
rounding
So
up.
old. Okay,
Hold
go on
on,
then.
Round down.
Round
It's
down.
under 5. Round
Round
down.
down. We're project
Fine.
managers and producers. Round down.
It's 10 past 8.
There we go. Boom. It's,
The 5 minutes does not
no,
make
no.
a difference.
It's a big difference, Matt. It's a big difference. Ask your wife if your 5 minutes makes a difference.
Uh, oh,
Oh,
He's rounding up.
I'm rounding up.
wow.
I'm just waiting for it to click over to 2013 so I can say
Same.
it's quantum.
No, you
I can round
listen.
up now. It's
No.
13 minutes past 8, which means it's
It's
quarter
still
past
12
8.
minutes past 8.
Not on this clock.
No,
That's the only
Scottish
one that
time.
matters.
Scottish time is different.
Scottish time.
Now it's 13
It's not,
minutes
Matt,
past
it's
8.
not a clock, it's an ock.
Is it a clock either noon?
Clock height.
No fucking clock use.
No way! I like that. Yeah.
Ah, right.
Anyway, on that note,
Right, move on, Matt. Hurry up.
No, I've got to put
Come on,
another-
Matt.
No,
You're
shut
slowing
up,
us
you two.
down.
My God.
press the button already.
the worst.
Press Bhutan.
You've got to shut up. I need a minute. I need a moment
we've
of
got
silence.
pause. We've got pause. Go.
It's about damn time.
Do you need a long pause? Or a slow
Oh my
pause?
God. We're not getting to this segment, are we?
Go.
Tonight is a disaster.
It was going pretty well, to be
It
fair.
is going
until-
really well. I'm having lots of fun.
I'm having fun. We're not making a lot of progress.
No, but
No.
fun progress.
But I mean,
Progress.
Hey, look, be reached, man. Stop it.
Do what?
Yes, stop it, Matt. Stop it.
Do stop what?
I don't know.
Okay.
Tash, tell us off.
It's time. Oh fucking hell! You shut up.
I'm just breathing.
Shut up for 2 seconds.
Stop breathing, Luke.
Hold on.
It's time for game production challenges, and we're going to be talking about beef in teams. Why can't we all just get along? Tash, Luke, why can't we all just get along?
It's a fabulous question.
Yeah. I muted Luke, and he
I
hasn't
saw
realised.
that. Yeah, I thought it was great. It
You
was
fuck.
beautiful. This is why we can't get along.
This is why you don't have nice things, Matt.
Because you mute your
'Cause
producers.
You mute your team.
I regret nothing.
No,
I
you
know, I
will.
can tell.
I would do it again.
Well, yeah, you probably will.
I would have done
Yeah.
it earlier if I'd thought
Okay.
about it.
Nah, good shout.
Why can't we get along? Is
Because
it conflicting personalities, conflicting views, conflicting priorities?
if we all got along, we would be in an echo chamber and we'd all agree with each other and we'd make shit products. You have to have a little bit of debate. You have to have a little bit of disagreement. As long as you respect each other, you can make something great.
But do we though?
I think good companies and good studios that make good products largely do get along. They might crack the whip, like I know GTA and like games like that have worked really, really hard to get things done, but they're all on the same mission. They're all driving towards the same outcome.
Yeah.
They crack the whip and they bust the unions.
Yeah.
Is it so? I mean, this
10%
really,
unhappy.
yeah. This topic is about conflict. Then, so conflict within teams. So, what is the role of the producer when this transpires?
To hear the conflict, to hear, assess, and I guess look into, and ways that you can resolve it amicably, mutually, that moves things forward in a productive light.
Yeah. And a key thing is being patient with it and not trying to fix it straight away. It's all about listening to the different personalities, listening to the different sort of cultures, listening to the different ages, different several levels of experience and stuff like that, because artists will naturally get on better with artists, programmers will naturally get on better with programmers. You put them in a room together, there'll be some conflict, but you've also got the dynamics of someone that's less experienced wanting to be heard and having something to say, but they haven't got that sort of core experience that gives them sort of some of the obvious things as like ruling these things out versus someone that's very experienced. But then you've also got the other hand of someone that's very experienced might be slightly burnt out or might not think outside the box. So you've got that contrast.
You've also got your different communication styles that do cause massive conflict. So you've got your more direct, logical thinkers who just get to the point.
Yeah.
You've got the people that like to talk around the subject, pad it out, like the formalities or waffle. You've got others who are your big idea thinkers who like to think outside the box constantly, but don't actually come down to where the problem is. So they're all way over here, whereas the problem's down here. So you've got your big idea thinkers, you need to bring them back. And it's a mixture of those personalities and communication styles can cause a lot of conflict and a lot of miscommunication as well, because a lot of things can get misheard or misunderstood, which can cost you time and money. And therein lies another conflict and another thing you have to resolve.
Yeah. And especially when you work remote and stuff. If you're directly working in a sort of an office together and or boardroom together talking through something, it's much, much easier to solve these conflicts than working remotely, because you pick up on people's body language and mannerisms and stuff like that. And maybe you chat to them in the kitchen, maybe you chat to them over a cigarette if you smoke. Smoking kills, don't smoke. But those things, those things make a big difference when you can talk to someone face to face. And I think there's something to be said about being in the same sort of vicinity of someone. You naturally have a little bit more respect versus this remote thing where you feel separate. Not like you're a troll, but you just feel a bit more separated from
Levels of seniority as well, that's the thing. So that
Yeah.
transcends whether it's remote or in person.
Yeah.
If you're quite new and quite fresh in your career and you have to deal with someone who's a CEO, that's intimidating. So you might just say yes, even though you know
Yeah.
that what you're doing is wrong or you don't know what you're doing at all. You could just say yes.
Yeah.
And you
feel
probably will.
nervous. Yeah.
You might
And
not have the confidence to go directly to a CEO and say this, that, or the next thing, or to resolve a problem, or say, you probably didn't handle this well. We could have communicated this better. You might not have that confidence to be that comfortable with people of that level of seniority. Even between like juniors and seniors, there can be a level of conflict depending on how your senior holds themselves or how
Yeah.
your junior holds themselves.
Yeah.
There's a lot of nuance to this.
Yeah, there is. Yeah, it's seniority, it's discipline, it's culture. So someone from one country talks completely different to someone from another country. Some cultures will say yes to everything and then try and fix it after and cause themselves problems. Some cultures will say no to everything unless you explain why and all that sort of stuff. So you've got all that to deal with, and then having a clash of those versus seniority can get quite messy. So the producer and project managers and scrum masters and those sort of roles are there to try and they have to listen. It's really, really important to listen. Don't try and fix it straight away. It's about listening to what's going on, listening to the different people, cultures, and all the sort of challenges. Then having a word, having a think about what you can do to fix it, and ideally deal with people one to one initially. Don't do the whole get them in a room together, make them hug. That doesn't work. It's not primary school.
I think the thing that I'm trying now is because I find that because I am a direct communicator myself, I'm telling people how's best to communicate with me, and I'm ultimately like asking them how's best to talk to you.
Yeah.
Because in this day and age, people do pick up on these things and they do get uncomfortable with it, in particular with people who are very direct.
Yeah.
So it's like, hey, look, I'm not into complex language. I'm not into fluff. I like it direct. I like you to tell me what you want, what you're looking for, and what you want me to do with this information.
Yeah.
Keep it simple. Because if you don't, these are the questions I'm going to fire at you. And it's not because I'm trying to be mean, because I'm trying to get the most effective solution in the fastest possible time.
Yeah, and even the term fluff to someone like me, I'm a bit more poetic, I'm a bit more flowy and a bit more. So the word fluff for me is like, no, I'm adding some poetism to it. I'm giving it a bit more structure. And you're like, Luke, just tell me what you want.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Precisely.
It's fine. I've also worked with a programmer that was mildly autistic, and one of the first things she said to me was like, can I have a chat with you? Like, we had a planning meeting and she said, can I have a chat with you? And she wanted to explain how she feels about things and how she didn't really pick up on subtleties and stuff like that about emotion and things. She really explained it well, and it made me not treat her different, treat her as special kid gloves or anything, but it made me not think she's being harsh when she was saying something or giving feedback on something. And it also made me back her up if anyone ever reacted negatively to it. I wouldn't be saying, oh, stop, she's mildly autistic. I wouldn't be saying that. It'd be more like, no, she's got a valid point because of such and such, and then try and encourage that conversation back and forth with her, because she'd appreciate the back and forth conversation much more than someone going, oh, that's rude, and sort of keeping them to themselves. Very British way.
I've had programmers come to me and say, look, this is best how I communicate. And I've always fully appreciated how they've come and told me, because I'm like, when I say like, can we have a chat? For me, that's not a scary sentence, but for some people it can, because they think, oh shit, I'm in trouble. So I learned with this particular programmer, and like, hey, I just want to talk about this part of the game that we seem to be having problems in, but I need to wrap my head around it. Can you chat me through it?
Yeah.
They'd be okay with that. However, if I just go, hey, can we have a quick chat? Terrified them.
Yeah,
no,
and
I'm really
that
sorry.
is quite a terrifying phrase as well from a producer to a team, because they're like, "Oh shit, I don't."
Especially a Scottish producer.
Yeah, especially someone that's someone that's proclaimed themselves being direct. You, me, talk now.
Yeah.
Did not go, you, me, talk now. I went, can we have a chat?
Yeah.
You and me outside.
You and me outside.
No, we save that for the pub.
Yeah. But there's different phrases you can use, isn't there? And this is a good segment on its own, Matt. It's like, what sort of phrases can you use instead of can we have a quick chat? Because I like, even when you've got 5 minutes, let me know. Like, there's loads of phrases that you should avoid using, really.
You said that I'd make a good segment. I think so.
Yeah. So I'm being direct. So
there's some direct communication for you. No, I disagree.
Just no. Yeah.
I disagree.
I will read it if you want to pitch it. I'll read it, but it's a no from me. Okay, so we have all these different things that sort of contribute to why teams feel like maybe they can't always get along. We've got different perspectives, different communication styles, different cultural, different backgrounds. We've got online versus in person, the seniority, and the challenge here is how we start to kind of bring all these different people together in a way where it becomes more of a melting pot and less of a kind of like personalities butting up against each other. You were talking there a little bit about like the solution here is listening, is like trying to figure out where the communication issues are present and where communication is breaking down to try to help to solve that. Being Tash, you were saying be explicit as far as your communication preferences are concerned. It's a really useful thing to do across an entire organization, just to give people a little bit more self-awareness around these things.
Yeah.
Like what else works when you're trying to help people manage conflict? You can't stamp conflict out.
No.
And it's not healthy to do so, because then everyone's just kind of nice and they dance around
You
it.
don't want that. Yeah.
So how do you breed a culture of a healthy conflict?
I mean, there's not always. You can do your best, and there's no silver bullet to this that's going to fix all the problems. So, point in case, I had a job that I worked at where there were 2 leads that were determined, hell after high water, to just clash continuously. You pull out all the tricks, you pull out all the stops, and legit got to the point where like I genuinely don't know anymore. I'm just exhausted. There are some that genuinely just want to clash.
Yeah, but there's techniques to that as well. So at CCP, for instance, the art leads, and then the design leads and the tech leads would often have arguments and stuff. But there'd be times where I say, do you know what, guys, can I just stop? This conversation, this debate is really healthy. It's really good. Just keep it respectful and carry on this debate, because then you'll find a balance that's going to work. And the more you say that as a producer, the more you encourage that mindset of like, it's healthy to argue. It's healthy to have this debate, because we've got to find that equal level where the technology is this much, the art is this much, the design is this much. We all want what we want, but we've got to find the way to work together. So I think encouraging it makes it positive. If you say, we got to stop arguing, that makes it such a negative. And then those people feel like they're pushed in a corner and they want to fight their corner. And it's like, no, hang on a minute. It's okay to have that debate as long as you keep it respectful. And that's the tricky bit.
The debate is
some
good.
people have that feeling of, oh, I'm being disrespected because you're going over me, yada, yada.
The debate is good in this particular instance, despite even using that advice. They just kept going at it. So
Yeah, you can't win.
you're not going to win every battle.
No.
But I guess the kind of point is it's doing the best you can to help move things forward in a productive and positive way.
Yeah.
And keep the environment from going toxic. So it's like you say, it's listening to all sides, all angles, going out and getting more information so that you are more armed.
Yeah.
Helping people understand each other.
Tash's cat's armed. Armed and dangerous.
What, can you see the cat?
I just heard the cat picking up a gun or something.
Yeah,
She
just keep hearing a kind of
and she's decided that the
clack,
desk
clack.
is her friend, and she's knocked everything off the desk because she wants attention.
She's like, me.
But
talking about conflict, cats are conflict.
Yeah,
it's one of these things. It's just making way to get all the information that you can, and realizing that you're not always going to win, and you're not always going to pick the right path. Sometimes you're going to choose things, you're going to choose a direction, and it's going to be wrong. Yeah, it's not going to fit the situation.
But we've got to make progress.
You've got to make progress somehow. So it's definitely a nuance, and I think you're constantly learning. I'm still learning to this day. And it's like, okay, new bunch of people, new teams, new situations, new seniority. It's like, okay, how do we handle this? You go and you do it.
All right. Anything else on this before we move on?
What do you think, Matt?
Yeah, what do you think?
What do you think?
About what?
Conflict.
It's all right. Asked and answered.
Okay. Just like that.
We are moving on. So we're gonna do so now the new flow is outro first, then intro, because it's easier for me to cut it out of the end and stick it on the front. It's an edit. It helps me with my editing.
Okay. Yeah, we want to save future Matt.
It's basically, it just saves me a couple of minutes. It's quite useful, honestly.
Is that you rounding up or down?
Yeah.
Just
yes.
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 All of the above.
Is it A or B? Yes.
What games are you playing at the moment, Matt?
Yes.
That's a terrible segment idea. Everybody does that. I hate it. No.
Okay.
Stupid. We're doing the outro and then we're doing the intro.
He's very formal today, Tash, isn't he?
He is, isn't he?
Yeah.
It's almost like he's in a ruch.
Yeah. He's got better things to do than be with us.
I mean, that's always true.
Matt, I'll have you remember you suggested this to us.
I did suggest this. And I stand by that suggestion and I enjoy myself.
Good.
Right. What did I say we're doing? Outro. Yeah, we're doing the outro. Oh, yeah. Oh, I'm just going to leave all this in.
Yeah, it's fine. Cat on the shoulder. Why not?
Cat on the shoulder. That is all we have time for this particular episode. All that remains for me to do is thank you, our listener, and Tash and Luke, Tasha Natani and Luke Timms. If you would like to email us, then it's gameprodpod@proton.me. Hope you had a good time and enjoyed this as much as we did. And we'll see you next time.
Bye.
Bye.